Anubis, keeper of transitions, guide us through the unseen realms. In your embrace, we find renewal and the courage to welcome the unknown. Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you guys so much for joining me here, and welcome to my table. If you're new here, hello, my name is Zachary. It's nice to meet you. And if you're returning, it's good to see you guys again. Pull up a chair, my friends. I did save you a seat. So, this is a general message. Please keep that in mind. Use your head, heart, and intuition to decipher if this message is for you. And if it's not, please leave it behind. This does feel like it's going into the Galactic Royalty series, so feel free to check out that playlist. I'll have it tagged at the end here, as well as in the description of the video if you want to check out any of the others in the series. So, the energy of Anubis coming through here today. This is interesting, as the last collective reading I had done really talked about a bold move, something big. We're doing something big is happening thanks to that, right? Cause and effect. We're putting effort into something, and so something is changing. Interesting that Anubis is coming through today, being that they are guide and guardian, protector, liaison of sorts. Anubis is an energy, or the god. Anubis is the god of the transition. We can look at him as death, essentially. There was a little bit of a split when Osiris came on the scene. Osiris is kind of the god of the underworld. There are different components of the religious belief that believes that Anubis is the one who mummified and resurrected Osiris. But there's been kind of a transition of duties, so to speak. Anubis is the one who helps us make the transition. They are the guide and guardian of the dead, so protector of where the dead are buried, cemeteries, that sort of thing. They're also the overseer of embalming and that sort of mummification. So they facilitate the practice of the weighing of the heart as well, kind of in this picture, against the feather of truth, Ma'at. And then Osiris is the one who is the judge. So, let's get into it, you guys. There are a little bit of channel messages and oracle cards that were pulled, and then we'll get into tarot, all that jazz. I did want to show you, you'll see him on my table here, but my Anubis, this is made of obsidian. And obsidian is one of those stones that Anubis enjoys, being that it is protective as well, grounding. So, he's just going to hang out here on our table, all right? So there was, I saw a red stone here in meditation to start. It looked like it was almost like the flesh of a grapefruit or orange, some kind of citrus fruit opening up here. And then there was this very red ruby. Looked like a ruby to me. Could have been a carnelian. Both of these, though, a message coming through on this is protection and energy to get through something. So it does feel like he's coming through to protect, but to also galvanize, to help support the energy that's required for us to get through something here. This then turned into obsidian. So very interesting. Back to the obsidian here. Grounding. So grounding this energy and this protection into our experience. The next thing that I saw or was shown was the crook and flail. So this is what the pharaohs hold in a crisscross fashion here. It symbolizes their authority, but them being the shepherd of their people, essentially. So back to this topic of guiding and guarding, the shepherd is the one that protects the flock. They keep an eye out and they keep them safe so that they can live a happy life, right? It feels like this energy is coming through specifically right now because there is a bit of a tricky transition that's happening, and it's important. This is what I get from it is this ain't your average transition. This isn't something that we're used to being illuminated to, having a desire to move towards. This feels like new energy for all of us. And there's a bit of fear, or quite a bit of fear, that's involved in making this transition, which is why Anubis is coming through here. It's like, not today. We're going to get this done, right? We're going to get it done. The oracle cards here, let's go ahead and move into that. That's all that came through here in meditation to start. So I'm going to show this camera here, and then we'll move forward. Breath. This is the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, Breath is the first one that came through here. So breath being life force. I am getting an energy of inspiration with this. Something new opening up, a new space being opened up. Like I said, this feels new. We're not going and running the same race here. A few times I've been around that track. It's not just going to happen like that, right? Because this shit is bananas. Bananas. A new space opening up here. The next card that came through is Sparks of Light. So love that this is coming through on the tail end of breath. This is hope, and like an enthusiastic hope. Enthusiastic message. I think about, especially I guess with the pharaohs, maybe I should have sang that song at the beginning. When you believe that they have there in The Prince of Egypt, Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston sang it at the end of that. It's been redone many, many times. Beautiful song. I do think those of you who are following me on my vocal channel there, it's pinned at the top of my main page if you want to check that out too. I think that's going to be the next song that I go for. So thank you for your patience as I'm trying to get all that figured out. But this, Firefly, like it gives me kind of Firefly energy in the Wild Unknown Animal archetype deck. There is this inspiration coming through with breath, the breath of life. And interesting that we've got the ferryman, essentially, with Anubis coming through and helping us with life. A mass amount of hope coming through. That's why that song was coming through. When you believe. Miracles can happen. Miracles happen once in a while, right? When you believe. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. That's one of the lines that's standing out to me here. So the last one that came through, Despicable Face. Ooh, Despicable Face. So this is what is hidden or shamed, something that we're keeping silent inside of ourselves, I feel like. And this is going to be different for everybody, but mostly I'm getting this experience of like a fear of failure, fear of our own power, fear of success, right? Fear of success to the point that we're encouraging failure. Either side could be possible. Well, both are the same energy are opposite energies on the same coin, right? So either could apply, fear of failure or fear of success. The book mentions or asks, who is it that's surrounding you? So we are a part of those that we connect with, right? Or the amalgam of the top 5 people that we hang out with. This is just human nature. We tend to pick up similar mannerisms or ways of speaking, thinking, that sort of thing. These can be positive or negative experiences. But it does feel like there's an encouragement right now, maybe we are releasing, kind of based off the last collective, maybe we are releasing something in the form of a relationship, or we have, right? Or we're starting to see that something's we're just not feeling the same comfort or inclusion, I guess, in the way that we have before. This could be family, church group, friends, your neighborhood, right? Okay, let's get into this a little further. After some water. I feel like this is going to be a good message because I've already got dry mouth. All right, let's do it, you guys. Get a little further into this. I do want to use the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle deck here to talk about this path a little bit more, please. What is it that we need to know? Whoop. Flying off the table. Dolphin. I do feel like things are very heavy. Okay. What is that? Ignorance is bliss, right? Ignorance is bliss. This is kind of a tricky experience. Ignorance is bliss. Naivety makes it easier to be joyful because we're not weighed down by things that are heavy. What does one do as we become enlightened or learn more about what's going on around us? Do we become negative? Are we a dark cloud now because we just see the way that the world works? Well, I think this is a choice. This is part of the wisdom that the dolphin understands, is it's their choice. Look at that smile. Look at that shit grin. That's a happy dolphin. We can be that happy too. The dolphin is very intelligent and they still find ways to play, right? Speaking of Mariah Carey and the whistle notes. So I feel like a part of what Anubis is here to help us with is to show us the way. through a lighter heart, right? Joy and peace in our heart that will also provide more joy and peace and happiness in our own life, even with the knowledge that we possess. So what is blocking this energy here of the dolphin, please? The golden egg, the heart. Interesting. So the golden egg is the heart chakra. I've had a lot of egg and serpent imagery come through in a lot of the galactic royalty readings recently as well. So the unstruck sound, interesting. I'm kind of being drawn to a vibration or a frequency. Back to our tribe, those we're hanging out with. Okay. When we, what I'm getting here with the golden egg, this is the heart portal, right? This is where we connect to others, whether we want to or not. Once we develop a connection with somebody, the way I like to describe it is love. Like love is this energy that exists. God, the highest vibration of experience. Love. When we love another, we open up a connection from portal to portal, from heart to heart. It is my belief that this portal doesn't ever really close. There are times where we may need to separate from people because they're no longer healthy for us, or maybe they're not healthy for themselves and then not healthy for us, right? For me, though, I see it as love does not, once love has been created, it doesn't ever stop. We can love somebody and know that they're not healthy for us, and know that we love ourselves, and so we choose our own health, right? That's kind of what I'm getting from this. There's something that your heart is wanting to say about a part of this matter. Interesting. I was watching something on YouTube yesterday about people who have nonverbal situations that have been diagnosed autistic. I can't remember the term that she was using, but she was postulating that it's not necessarily autism as much as it is myoplegia. I don't think that's right. Where there's a disconnect between the body and the experience. They're finding that these individuals can spell out and communicate in that way when they were thinking they were nonverbal before. The reason they got to this point is because their parents were coming forward and saying, like, they're reading my mind was the whole thing. And some studies have been done, but would love for there to be more studies. Essentially, these children are reading the minds of their caregivers, their parents. They're able to see through their eyes, hear through their ears, kind of thing. There's something about that disconnect from their body that allows them to tap into that a lot easier. And she goes on to express that this is something we can all do, right? And we can. There are different levels of talent, essentially, when it comes to things like that. It was very validating, actually, for me to hear that, because that's kind of how I experience. When I go into meditation, I always go through a set of eyes and see. To hear that was the experience of another was very interesting. But they talked about that connection being possible because of love. Because of love, you guys. Love being the connective factor to everything. Through love, all is possible, including understanding another without having to have them explain that to us. Very interesting. It feels like there is an understanding that is needed right now, or that you will be receiving. Okay. You will be receiving. Okay. What is needed here right now on this path? Very interesting. If I can remember to find it, it was like an interview. I'll try to tag it at the end of this video here. Tarantula. The tarantula. Cobra. This has come through a lot recently too. It does feel like there is a pause. We're not quite finished with something here. When the student's ready, the teacher appears. We're still finishing something up. So the tarantula, this is a decision that needs to be made. It feels like we are the oasis at the crossroads is what I'm getting. We're in this space that's maybe not uncomfortable or comfortable. We could stay there, but there's a decision that needs to be made moving forward on this path. That's kind of what I'm getting with the tarantula. The tarantula is patient and will wait, knowing that we will make the right choice. And I put that in quotes because the right or wrong choice is really subjective, or it depends on what it is that we're trying to accomplish too. This feels like move. Maybe it's an actual move or moving forward, right? Moving out of stagnation. Okay. Let's get into tarot here. Oh, you want a citadel? Okay. 1 second. One more here. What else here, please? Anubis. The Alchemist. Hey. Cool. Ooh, and the Walker. Ooh, I just got all the chills on that. The Unknown and a Journey. Anubis is here to walk beside us. Ooh. Ooh, I just got all the chills on that. Ooh, okay. The Alchemist, balance, invention, and destruction. So this is that last general reading that I had. There was that breakdown into death, and then we moved into the Hierophant. Breaking through the mold in some way, breaking something traditional for ourselves. The Alchemist has the ability to turn something into something else. I feel like there's this experience right now where we have to recognize that we have everything that we need to do what we need to. Maybe this is a part of why we're kind of in this weird liminal space of moving forward. We may think we're missing something. I'm getting kind of like 8 of Cups. We may think we're missing something, but we're not. Okay. Let's go forward. Moving forward. Always forward. We talk a little bit more about this energy, please, with the tarot. Moving into the tarot. This is the Curious Travels deck. I want to go with this one because we're on a journey here. I was going to do the crows. We're taking a journey, you guys. We look a little bit more at the present energy here. Where are we right now? Where am I? The Wheel of Fortune. We're just spinning into oblivion, right? Yes. Stuck in the Wheel of Samsara. Yes, absolutely. So the Wheel of Fortune coming through. This eye is really standing out to me. And who is that? Is that Anubis? That's Anubis. And it looks like they've got the crook there too. This would be the Sphinx. The Sphinx has a riddle for us. Maybe this is why we're... Ooh, the question has been asked. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Can you tell me more about that? Question's been asked. Oh, has it? 7 of Cups. We've been given a choice. And there's that snake winding around us up into this cup. It feels like... So 7 of Cups is spoiled for choice. Indecision, being frozen because there are too many choices. I feel like this is why we're in this like stasis bubble. There are just too many choices. But with this snake with this snake leading us up into this cup here. Like I said, there's been a lot of serpent imagery recently. It feels like there is a path that, what is that? Like we've got a rope tied around our waist. And it's attached to the end goal here. Or this is the energy of Anubis as well, leading us to a specific place. Okay. I'll buy it. I want to know some more. Can you tell me a little bit more about this here, please? Dedication and moving on. Divine counterpart at the bottom. Divine connection sent to you from your angels. This feels like mostly could be somebody, love-wise. We are coming into a full moon in Libra on the 12th. These messages are timeless, but love and relationships is the main focus of that kind of energy. So coming out of Venus retrograde, we're coming out of Mercury retrograde. We've had so many major transitions already from the start of this year. The nodal shift, Neptune moving into Aries, etc., etc. It's a whole new world, you guys. A whole new world, right? What I'm getting here is like the same map that we are used to playing has different rules now. The gravity's different. The light is different. It may feel like we're walking a similar path, but it's not. Okay. Moving on, endings that bring healthy beginnings, and then dedication. Stay dedicated to your goals, efforts that will reap success. What I'm seeing with that is that rope attached to our waist here. The dedication component, we don't have to like run with this rope. There's not a time limit on this. But what is being requested is to not untie the rope. There's something about the call or the directive. Like this, it provides a little bit of discomfort. What I'm seeing is like trying to rest, right, with this around our waist may not be the most comfortable. It's possible. We're not going to have this on forever. What may feel uncomfortable is actually guidance. It's actually Anubis coming through here, lassoing us around, right? Come here, little doggy. Stay dedicated to that. Allow that discomfort to move you forward rather than cause you to give up. And then, yes, encouraging moving on here. Okay. So let's move further here. Queen of Wands to split two. This was standing out to me from the beginning of the reading. Before I started recording here, the King and Queen of Wands. This feels like, there's a confidence and authority, authenticity that we experience with the Queen of Wands. What I feel here, though, is like we're moving to the King of Wands. Maybe we're in the Queen of Wands right now. We're finding our voice. We're finding our place. We're finding that we do belong. We're finding our sovereignty. And then moving into that King of Wands here to this place where we are now leading as well with the crook and flail, that idea of being the shepherd. It feels like we're transitioning into being the leader. We're following the leader until we're leading the followers. Interesting. Okay. That is a big transition. Oof. And I feel that very like getting kind of soul star here. Soul star and root. Goodness. Woo. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. So what is this call? I want to know a little bit more about, like, where are we heading, or what change? Yeah, what is this change? Let's get into that. What is this change? The Page of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like we want another one here too. With the Page of Pentacles, so there's something that we're used to experiencing as we're talking about breaking the mold, making changes. Seven of Swords comes out as well. So Page of Pentacles, we are being intelligent here. We're learning something new if something new needs to be learned, but we're taking something that's already existing and we're improving upon it. Ourselves, our own path. They're looking through the pentacle here as a monocle. Finding the way, letting what it is that we've experienced already lead us to what is next. Since we had the wheel come through here too, this does feel like a bit of a fated event, or something that, like, this was always on the docket here to experience. Time's up, yeah. It doesn't feel like there's a rush towards this. The time is up, though, for sleeping. We're done sleeping. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Get up, get out of bed. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right, with the fox here. So Seven of Swords being the change that's approaching here. It feels like kind of at the tail end of that collective reading too. If there's an ending of a relationship that's happened, or if you have had to shift your friend group or the way that you engage with your family, community, whatever, this feels like a validation that you're doing the right thing. The message that you are receiving is correct. This wasn't a betrayal, but it feels like there is a feeling of betrayal or theft. Like something has been, an idea maybe, or an energy. Feeling drained too. Okay. What I'm getting from this here is to not let that allow us to become bitter we can become smarter, right? In the way that whatever situations happened recently, it doesn't, I know there's been a lot of violent shifts for people recently. And I am noticing personally in my own situation and others that I don't think they're necessarily personal as much as they are like resetting the map. And that's come through recently too. We're shifting to where we need to be in order to get to where we need to go. I feel like we're being asked to release that. If you're feeling that way, like you're betrayed, we can't get anywhere if we're carrying that. Ooh, this is a part of the truth that we're weighed against here with Anubis. To lighten our heart. We're being asked to lighten our heart, you guys. Got it. This is the change that's approaching. I feel like one of these here. Talisman Oracle, can you tell me a little bit more about this change that's approaching? Approach the bench. Cast away negativity. Yes. Yes. Lightening the heart, you guys. You've got that serpent on there too with the sword. Ace of Swords being truth. Oh, I love this. The rose coming out of the snake's mouth here too. This is, it's silencing the snake, the sneaky snake. It's silencing the negativity that used to come forward with the blooming of a rose. A rose can symbolize protection as well. It's safe to release this. This feels like, though, whoever may be struggling with that, this is a struggle. We're having a hard time casting that away. Castaways. We are just castaways. Oh my god. Okay, let's move forward here. As we're making this change, can we get some advice here as far as shifting on this journey or taking this journey here, making this change? Advice, please. Death. Do you want this one? Yes. And King of Pentacles. There we go. 8 of Pentacles here at the bottom too. Work. I do feel like someone's burnt out right now. Could be your career, work, or just feeling like you're putting work into everything constantly. So death coming through as advice. Like I said, Anubis here is the ferryman. With the scythe here, everybody, and you've got the blooming rose as well. There's that protection. This transition is destined, right? It is divinely guided and protected. We're being asked not to resist it. Give in, right? We don't have to go jumping into the situation of transition. We can. It's okay to be excited about it, but to not resist it. With King of Pentacles coming through here too, this is a reminder, I feel like, of what's to come. Since we have the Page of Pentacles here, this development from the page into the King of Pentacles. They're searching for a way to change what is so that they can get to what will be, right? This is abundance. This is a shit ton of abundance. It's being gracious and grateful. Gratitude. Okay. Open. I just feel this opening, you guys, where we may have felt the need to harden our hearts in the past. We're being asked to soften right now. Anything else on that? Balance. Juggling too many things at once. Find time for yourself. If you are in a situation right now where you do feel burnt out, like that 8 of Pentacles, for some of us, I do feel like we need to drop some responsibilities. And I get there are some situations where we can't, especially with family or kids or whatever. In this situation, I do feel it's appropriate to, if possible, as you can, carve out space for yourself where there is you time. It feels like there is just, we're inundated with weight with the Cobra. We're inundated with pause. Ooh. Okay. What is the protection in this journey right now? What is the protection here? Can we talk about that Anubis is providing? 4 of Wands. And this did kind of come through in reverse. So this is crossing of a major threshold. What I'm getting is I'm seeing red rover. Red rover, send right over, right? It's this that game, if you're not familiar, as kids, we have two lines and one runs over to the side, tries to break through as they're holding hands. If they can't break through, then they lose, you know. If they do, then what is it? Like one of the sides loses somebody or the other side. I can't quite remember. It's been a while. That's what's coming to mind here for me. It feels more like the blocking side, though. Whatever energy is coming through is being resisted. This is the protection that's being offered to us. Why? Two of Swords. This is also kind of a blocking or impasse sort of energy. Because we need the support, there's a decision. It feels like we need a little bubble here in order to come back to our own energy and make a decision, make that decision to move. Ten of Wands here at the bottom to release a burden on the heart. We get another one here for the protection component. Fear at the bottom, expecting the worst, afraid of failure, wasting time on negative thoughts. Ooh, interesting. With that negativity, what I'm getting is like a dissonance here. So, what is that called? Muscle testing. You can't really do it on yourself, like people say you can, but where you put your arm out and ask questions, somebody tries to push it down. Like if we're telling the truth on something or if it's good for us, we can maintain strength in our muscles. If not, there is a disconnect where we can't really hold strength. This is something that's been well studied. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. We're in this stasis bubble, and the decision that needs to be made moving forward involves releasing something that we may feel is good for us or is okay, but is actually weakening our system. So Anubis is here holding that strength until we figure it out. Got it. Ooh, lovers. Lovers! A passionate connection, shared vision and value, and patience, manifestations are on the way. So the lovers is also a need to make a decision. It's balancing masculine and feminine energies as well. Whatever the separation or change has been, it does feel like there is a need to rebalance our own energies. Okay. I want to know here, let's move into a final message, and then I am going to go into an extended. Links will be in the description. Like I said, they're for sale individually as well as on the 3rd tier of membership, Phoenix Fam, if you want access to them all. Can we do final messages here from Anubis? You want a Citadel? Final messages here from Anubis, please. And I'm going to go deeper into this message with guidance and that sort of thing. Tap into this a little bit deeper too. Since there'll be less people in the extended, I can get a little more specific. Last message here from Anubis, please. Ooh. Ooh. So, the astronomer. Discovery and augury. So, the augury is actually standing out to me here. Augmentation to augur. Interesting. So, to shift something, to change what it is that we're doing in order to get into this energy where we can start to see the unseen. To augur is to divine. Symbolism, numbers, tarot, right? To augur. He's helping to lead us to a discovery. Can we get anything more on that, please? The 6 of Pentacles. And Ace of Wands here at the bottom. New journey is starting. Giving and getting, okay? The cycle of giving and receiving. Helping to rebalance those energies. This feels like something, though, that we've requested support on. This is a power-up. Soulmate, the divine will provide you with love when you're ready. There's divine counterpart again. Okay, well, I didn't think this was a love reading at all, but maybe Anubis has a different story. So the divine will provide you with love when you're ready. Since I'm talking about love here, being that connective force, love is the medium that allows us to exist, to experience, right? It is the breath. It is the blood of experience. Everything else flows inside of that. It does kind of feel like someone's being led to a partner, though. I don't like to always go into that space, but it feels like that's what's coming through. So We'll touch on that a little bit more in the extended as well. Okay, I'm going to leave it here, you guys. I hope this message is helpful. I love you. Thank you for joining me here. If this message does resonate, like I said, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Links are in the description of the video for the extendeds and in the pinned comment. If you want to support the channel through direct donations, links are in there as well, and I truly appreciate it, you guys. Personal readings are open. Like I said, you can check out my website. I do also have a personal mentorship program if you're ready for a little bit of a deeper dive into spiritual growth. I do one-on-one mentorship. I do have an available spot, If you want to apply for that, there's a link in the description of the video. It'll be in a pinned comment too. So take care of yourselves. I love you, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Be well.